Korach is the heretic that's still in Gehinnom till this day. Why? Because he went against Moshe Rabbeinu and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But he didn't go against it by simply bringing some Torah source that is valid. No, he wanted to embarrass Moshe Rabbeinu. He wanted to make fun of Moshe Rabbeinu. He wanted to make Moshe Rabbeinu look bad. Now, when you go further, you see that Korach and the rest of his followers are attacking Moshe Rabbeinu. First by Korach attacking Moshe Rabbeinu by saying it's too much for you. Too much for you, all this leadership. You're the leader, your brother's a Kohen Gadol. Too much for you. What's going on over here? And after he says that, Moshe Rabbeinu notices that all of the 250 rabbis that he brought in are all firstborns. They're all firstborns. Why did he bring only 250 rabbis that are all firstborns? Because Korach says, look, you put your brother as the Kohen Gadol, but in reality, until now, for the last couple of thousand years, the Kohanim were the firstborns. All of these rabbis over here, they're all firstborns. They are supposed to be Kohen Gadol, not your brother. In essence, he was talking about himself. He's supposed to be Kohen Gadol. So he's saying to Moshe Rabbeinu, it's too much for you. That's why it says that Moshe heard and he fell on his face. Later on it says that Moshe and Aaron fell on their face when Hashem wanted to destroy all of Am Yisrael. But here it says that only Moshe Rabbeinu fell on his face because Moshe Rabbeinu was being accused of something. But if that wasn't enough, he also said, by the way, I know why you're doing all of this. Because you want you want leadership and you want your family to be leadership, because what you're really doing is you're committing sins with everybody's wives. And he embarrassed Moshe by calling him an adulterer. Calling him an adulterer, Hashem Yerachem. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu, when he responded to him, he says that, Moshe Rabbeinu says to him that for the entire, that Moshe heard and he fell, and he spoke to Korach and to his entire assembly, and he says that in the morning Hashem will make known the one who is his own, and the Holy One. Why? Ve'eta Kadosh. Okay, if he's Hashem's, he's obviously Kadosh. No. Eta Kadosh means that tomorrow Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to prove that I kept my Kedusha. I kept my Kedusha. I kept my holiness. I did not violate my brit, not on my own, and certainly not with anybody else's wife. So here we see that little tidbit that we mentioned in the beginning of how Tikkun HaBrit is and the whole issues of Kedusha is mentioned in every parasha. Certainly we can find it in many other places in this parasha and others. But the point is that one of the things that Korach, Yimach Shimo, that went against Moshe Rabbeinu, what did he do? Perhaps we should correct ourselves. Shouldn't say Yimach Shimo, because some Chachamim say that eventually he'll come out of Gehinnom, even though others say he has no share of the world to come. Either way, Korach is the heretic that's still in Gehinnom till this day. Why? Because he went against Moshe Rabbeinu and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But he didn't go against it by simply bringing some Torah source that is valid. No, he wanted to embarrass Moshe Rabbeinu. He wanted to make fun of Moshe Rabbeinu. He wanted to make Moshe Rabbeinu look bad. Why? Because if you, let's say for example, you bring something from a Torah, and another Chacham brings something from a Torah, the reality is that even if you're right, it doesn't always mean that the other person is wrong. Doesn't mean that they're all supposed to be, because sometimes both sides are right. On the other hand, you could also risk the fact that you may be wrong. But he didn't bring Torah. What did he bring? He brought what the heretics bring. He brought personal insults. Personal insults, personal embarrassments, personal attacks. Why? Because once you start attacking somebody personally, then you create all types of doubts in everybody else's mind. And that's what made Korach so dangerous. That's why Kadosh Baruch Hu punished him and his followers so severely, because Korach came to create doubts in all of Am Yisrael, in their heads, simply by making up lies of how Moshe and Aaron are taking advantage of people, they're committing all types of heinous crimes, adultery, they're stealing money from people, they ended up killing some woman because of their theft, all types of nonsense. But he said it so much, and he said it so, in such a charismatic way, that it created doubts in everybody's mind, and many ended up believing him and following him. Hence the reason why Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to destroy everybody, because they literally, countless of them, ended up following Korach. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu says that this is going to be proven tomorrow, not only who Hashem is with, who He chose, but that I'm Kadosh. That not only did Hashem choose me, but also to answer your claims against me as far as Kedusha, as far as me violating my Brit, that too He's going to prove. That too He's going to prove. Because even if Hashem chooses me, you're going to say, yeah, He chose you, but you're still an adulterer. No. Tomorrow, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to create a miracle, a wonder, that is going to make everything clear. Not only that He chose me, but that I'm clean of any sin you ever said about me. So this is one of the things that Moshe Rabbeinu, when he responds to them, he says, Hashem is going to do this tomorrow. Why tomorrow? Why not today? Simple. Moshe Rabbeinu had mercy on Korach, and he hoped that he would do tshuva by the next day. He wanted to give him some time. But since he saw that Korach wasn't responding to this, he responded to him in kind by saying, it's too much for you. Just like he said, just like Korach said to Moshe Rabbeinu, oh, it's too much for you, all this leadership, all this power, you already have this, you already have that. Moshe Rabbeinu responded in kind, saying, no, it's too much for you. It's too much for you. Strong lectures, similar and different to the one that you heard tonight, that are simply full of sources, honesty, that's brutal, but is effective. Tikkun HaBrit. It helped countless people get closer to Hashem, because for the first time in their life, they heard that there are serious ramifications for their bad actions, whatever those bad actions are.